I do have something I want to show you, and it is Resident Evil related. I've been building up my hard copy collection of Resident Evil again. There was a lot of these games that years ago, almost 17 years ago at this point, when I moved into this house, I lost a ton of games in the move. Like an entire box full of games just went missing, maybe even 2 boxes. So I've been building stuff back up, especially my Resident Evil collection. And for the sake of storing it on the shelves that I use, I wanted everything to kind of line up nicely. But when you're going from generation to generation of different consoles, the cases change. The case sizes are all different. The thickness, the everything, the height, the whole deal, everything is different. I saw this little ad that came up, and I was really curious, and I checked it out for a site called GameCase.com. I checked it out, and it was just somebody running a website where they'll print out and make custom game cases or custom cases for your games with the artwork in a different case type. So where a bunch of these games might have originally been in either a jewel case or maybe one of those tall cardboard cases like the original Resident Evil was, basically they put them into Blu-ray cases and they line up real nice on the shelf. So I brought a bunch of them over here so I can show you them. And now, realistically, this was something that I could have potentially just done on my own. I could have just picked up some blank cases and print the labels and all that stuff. But, you know, stuff like that is a bit time consuming, and finding time is one of the trickiest things to really do with anything. So it was nice to see that somebody was out there doing this. And the thing that drew me to it was they had a bundle pack of Resident Evil games. I was like, oh man, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I ended up getting these made, and I'll show you each one of them, but I've got a bunch of these cases here of original Resident Evil games that I could then put on the shelf real nice. And we've got, starting with the original Resident Evil, and you can see it's in like a PS3 Blu-ray case, and it's just PlayStation on it, which I think is nice. And you got the original artwork on the front, and then you've got the gameplay artwork in the descriptions and everything on the back. Now I'm going to open this up. You're going to notice something. There is internal artwork, but it's empty right now because the original PS1 RE1 game is one of the games that was lost years ago. But the reason I haven't replaced it for so long is because I have the director's cut, and that is actually in here. And I put the other cases artwork in here, and then we've got the PS1 disc here. But I think this is really nice having a Blu-ray case style of the director's cut, and then you have the gameplay artwork on the back as well. Now, I do have a copy of this coming. I found one reasonably priced on eBay, and I went for it. So that's on its way. It should be arriving actually this weekend, and that's going to go right into this case to add on to the shelf. Then, guys, my all-time favorite game ever, not just in this series, but all-time ever, Resident Evil 2. And it's got the artwork on the back for the gameplay, and then it is, I put the artwork in here from the case, but it is a dual case. So we got disc 1 and disc 2, disc 1 being Leon, disc 2 being Claire, and then I didn't want to get rid of the original artwork from the back of the jewel case, so I just popped it in here in the case to keep it all together. But nice, and you know, they got the border on there and everything, so it just sits nicely on the shelf with everything. And then we have what we were just playing tonight, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on the original PlayStation. We got our artwork on the back with Jill's original outfit. Again, I put the artwork into the case there along with the game to keep that all together. I still have the other jewel cases and everything. I'll keep them off to the side. And then here's a weird one. This is one I debated on getting, but I had to add it back to my collection, and I did recently. I don't know if I ever played this here on the channel for you guys. Resident Evil Survivor on the PlayStation 1 is actually the first time Resident Evil went first person. This is a first-person shooter game in Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. It is a spin-off story that takes place in a whole other area after RE1, 2, and 3. So it talks about the events that happened in Raccoon City. I put the original artwork in there. I think it has a really cool artwork style to the disc itself. It's one of the most hated entries in the entire franchise, and for good reason. The game is... It's not that good, everybody, to put it nicely. But it is still part of the story. Having it back in my collection, it was a game I did lose. I found it at a good price. And then this was part of the bundle of the custom cases that were made. I was like, that's, you know what? I want it back in my collection even more, and I could put it together like that. Now, I have one last one here that was a different size. I chose this on purpose because I liked the style. I needed a replacement case. This was one I actually needed a replacement case for. Resident Evil Code Veronica X on the GameCube. My case for it broke, and it's gone now. It's long since been thrown out. It was just completely destroyed. So I've had the discs just in like random cases trying to keep them nice. Well, they had this really cool looking purple one, and I like the purple. And I chose this for Resident Evil Code Veronica X for the GameCube. And, you know, and then I got the GameCube case in there, and you see some artwork and everything there with Claire and Chris, and Steve is behind the disc. So this is another 2-disc game. They stack on each other. And I desperately needed a case for Code Veronica for GameCube. So I got one. I went with purple. I wanted it to stand out a little bit. I love the GameCube release of this game, and it's one of my favorites. So it's a little bit taller than the other ones, you know, so it does stand out a little bit on the shelf as well, but I'm a big fan of it. So it's just nice that on the DVD and Blu-ray racks that I have, where I put a lot of the games now, that I can get them nicely in order and put them on the shelf that way for easy access. So something really cool that I wanted to show you guys. It was very nice that somebody's out there making these for people. And again, it's something I could have just done on my own. I could have picked up, you know, some of like the glossy paper and print it real nice and get some blank cases just to put that together. But I was definitely happy to get